Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois Season 3. So, of course, Superman and Lois has had a bit of a turbulent off-season compared to what I guess compared to just what we thought it would be. I don't think anyone thought of there would be the drama that there was, but of course, there had to be a recasting. So, of course, it came out like about a month. So, yeah, it was about a month ago, just over a month ago, because they had about a month to recast before they started filming. So, just over a month ago, it came out that Jordan Elsas, who played Jonathan Kent, one of the twins for the first two seasons of Superman and Lois, and got to play even like the Bizarro Superboy version that everyone was excited about. We got to see in season two. It was announced that he was leaving, and it was said for personal reasons. Obviously, there was other rumors that came out, which we won't bring up again. But at the baseline, apparently, it was for personal reasons. Now, it surprised everyone when it came out. It was really weird. There was no real cast reaction in regards to the other cast members, which obviously created more speculation. But the baseline of it all, the most important thing, is that they had to recast the role of Jonathan Kent. He wasn't dying or anything like that. He wasn't being, put in a ship and blown off to New Krypton or whatever it would be. They're going to recast. Now, they only had a month to do it. I'm wondering, okay, who are they going to get? Are they going to go back to one of the backups from when they originally were doing the casting call? What's going to happen? And then it was about like a week and a half ago or something like that when it came out that they had found the new actor to play Jonathan Kent, and that's in the form of Michael Bishop, who is an Australian actor, a new up-and-comer, had only been in a couple of things. And yeah, that's who we're expecting in season 2. Oh, sorry, season 3. Now, when the first pictures of him went around, a lot of people were comparing they did look a lot like Alex Garfin, who plays Jordan on the show, though he did cut his hair, so he actually sort of looks a bit more like Jordan Elsas, who played the former Jonathan, but it's still not exactly the same. So there's still going to be a surprise for people that don't know this news and are going to jump into season 3 blind and are going to be like, well, hold on, that dude looks a bit different than what he looked like before. But recently on social media, across like Twitter, Instagram, all those different things, I know MySpace, AOL, whichever things you're using, Bitsy Tulloch did post a picture with her on set, or her in her trailer as Lois holding the script for episode 1, which we now know the episode title for episode 1 of season 3 is called Closer or Closer. I guess it's one of the two. Could mean both. Who knows? I'm gonna take Closer because maybe it's about the family being close together or something. I'm not too sure. But she posted this because it's the start of filming, and they did start filming late last week. I think it was on Thursday or Friday that they started filming. So we're wondering, okay, we're going to get any pictures. And the thing with Superman and Lois that makes it a bit of a difficult thing to get set photos is the fact that they don't really film in like metropolitan areas like the Flash and Supergirl and Arrow did, but also they built a complete downtown Smallville area, so they don't use an existing town most of the time to film things around Smallville. They film within like an isolated set area, so people can't get in to take photos. But that changed because they did film outside of that normal area for, I guess, just one scene in episode 1, which we have some set photos of, so we can look at it and see how they're going to portray Jonathan, not Jordan. The actor was Jordan that played Jonathan, but how they're going to portray Jonathan, different looks, everything like that, and also compare the pair, as well as some little plot points at the beginning of this season. And then we'll also go over some other DC stuff towards the end. That to a degree involves Superman and Lois, but just DC TV as a whole. But yeah, these photos are coming from Canada Graph's Patreon. I don't know if they're going to be public at the time that this video goes up and with maybe some more photos, but at the moment they're through his Patreon, so the link is in the description down below if you want to go follow that to get the photos before they go public, in the future. And also the Flash starts filming, I think tomorrow from when this video will come out, so there might even be some photos from the Flash's first few episodes of their last season on that Patreon over the next couple of weeks as they do start filming their final season. So yeah, just a heads up for everyone. So yeah, the first photo here is of Michael Bishop in his new role in the recast, because recasted isn't a word, but recast Jonathan Kent. And he's wearing Jonathan Kent clothes you would expect, rocking some Nike, are they Air Maxes? Not too sure what they are, but he's rocking some, just a general Jonathan fit. I think the jumper is something that looks familiar, but then again, it is just a blue jumper, or I don't know, what do Americans call it? Like a hoodie, a hoodie, just like that. So yeah, but I will put up them side by side right now. I don't think this picture of Jonathan Kent from season 1 and 2 will have him wearing anything like the exact same clothes. But you can see what they did. They sort of cut his hair. Like his hair was like a bit longer and stuff like that. So they've given him a haircut to make him look somewhat like Jordan Elsas in seasons 1 and 2, like just in some way. The thing is, and people have brought this up, is that this actor of Michael Bishop looks more like he fits in with the Kents. He looks more like a child of Lois and Clark, and also a brother to Jordan Kent as well. So I don't know, maybe this recast is a good thing in regards to like the aesthetic thing of it, because I guess Jonathan Kent previously in seasons 1 and 2, had like blonde hair, and I think it just didn't look exactly like the rest of the family. Looked like maybe Lois had an affair or something like that. So people have been saying that they actually do like the recast because he looks more like a Kent, if that makes sense. But yeah, as I said, you can look at them side by side here and see the difference. You can tell that like when people go into this season of season 3 of Superman and Lois and haven't heard this news, that they're going to be a bit trippy. Like, what did I have? What was in that steak that I had for dinner? It was laced with something. They're going to be tripping out. But yeah, we can see Lois and, well, Jonathan in the car here, and we'll get into the whole car situation in a second, but they seem to be having a good time. From what I've seen on social media, there seems to be a lot of camaraderie already with the new actor of Michael Bishop, so it seems like there's not going to be any drama there. And you might be like, hold on, this person on the right here looks familiar. Well, that's Tom Cavanagh, aka Eobard Thawne, aka Harrison Wells. He's directing the first episode of season 3 of Superman and Lois. This was announced a while ago. I think this was announced before season 2 even ended, because they had to get all the schedules going and stuff like that. And I think Tom Cavanagh might have even said in an interview leading up to the end of last season of The Flash as well. So yeah, he's directing the first episode of season 3 of Superman and Lois. Then we got a picture of Bitsy here looking happy, I guess happy to be back on the set and playing Lois and stuff like that. Bitsy and Tom Cavanagh sharing some words about how to sit in the car. And then you can see the clapper, the clapboard or whatever it's called. And you can see in like this little area here, I'll probably put a circle on it that says 301. This is episode 1 of season 3. So yeah, and Tom Cavanagh down there in the bottom left. And there's just another photo here of Tom Cavanagh with Michael Bishop. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, hold on, where are Lois and Jonathan in this thing? Because you don't really get much of a idea of just these photos. You see like Jonathan walking out of like an office building of sort of things with like bricks behind him, and then him and Lois in a car. That's all you really get. But you might have seen some cones on the ground here, which might be an indication. But they did film, because this was on Twitter as well, this was like the outside of the building. They are at the Department of Motor Vehicles in the state of Kansas. So that's the building. You can see it has the same bricks that Jonathan was walking in front of. So what does this mean? Well, it means that Jonathan's probably getting his license or doing his driving license test. Obviously, I think it was in seasons 1 and 2 where he drove the truck, but he wasn't licensed, but he had to do it because they had to get somewhere. And there was always like a joke about that. And I think even like he wanted to drive to school to get his hours up or to learn more, and like Clark would let him drive. So there was little references to it in seasons 1 and 2. It just wasn't a plot point. But obviously it's going to be a bit of a plot point in episode 1, at least, him going to get his license. I wonder if he'll get it or he'll fail. I think that maybe he'll get it. We'll trust Jonathan. But if he does get it and he gets his license, I think it'd be funny if there was a joke about him looking different in his photo. Like he looks at his photo and goes, man, I look weird and different in this photo from what I remember, because of the recast. I think that'd be pretty funny. And a way to reference the recast without referencing it in real life. Like not like Sarah or something walking in and going, you look different from the last time I saw you, Jonathan. Because that's like a very sitcom thing that you'd see in like the 80s or 90s to do. So maybe they could do it through like the driver's license. I think that'd be pretty funny, and also not too on the nose. So yeah, those are the set photos. As I said, you don't really get that many set photos from Superman and Lois unless they're filming in like a metropolitan area, or just like a area where it's not within that downtown Smallville and Kent Farm area. So it's a bit hard to get set photos sometimes, so you don't really know what's going on. But this was one of those rare times where they did film in like another place. Maybe we'll get more of that this season because of the whole storylines going on with Bruno Mannheim and Intergang, but that's a wait and find out. I mean, we got some photos for episode 1, so that's a good start. But speaking of details, we did get some details about New York Comic Con for this year that were announced, I think probably yesterday from when this video will go up. And unfortunately, there are no CW DC TV shows in attendance. There are CW shows going, just not any of the DC shows. So there's no Superman and Lois, no Flash, no Stargirl, no Gotham Knights. Now, I know there were some people surprised about Gotham Knights not attending and wondering if that's an issue, but that show isn't, like, that's a while away from premiering. Like, it might not come out till February. It might come out in late January, but might not come out till February or maybe even March. So it's a while away. Like, I would have been actually surprised if it was a New York Comic Con, because it is so far away. But The Flash, I think, has only done one New York Comic Con or maybe it's done 2 since it started, so that would have been a surprise as well. But then again, it is the final season, so maybe some expected it to go there because it's the final season. I don't know. Stargirl is probably the surprise of the bunch because I think it has played a part at New York Comic Con since it premiered in 2020, and it will still be airing episodes when New York Comic Con goes on in like the first or second week of October. So Stargirl's probably the surprise, but the DC TV shows that are going to New York Comic Con, sorry, are Titans, Doom Patrol, and Pennyworth, which are all HBO Max shows. So I guess if one of them goes, they all go. So yeah, and I know Peacemaker isn't going, of course, but that's still a while away from even starting to film season 2. So what are you gonna do? Go there and say hello and then walk away? Like you gotta show something if you're gonna go there. Now, as I did say, the Flash does start filming, I think, tomorrow from when this video will go out. So if there's anything that comes out in regards to casting, which would be a surprise, I'm expecting more like the set photo side of things, or people, the cast members posting stuff on Instagram. But they might announce like a returning cast member or stuff like that, just because it is the final season. But that's a wait and see. I'm not going to expect too much in the rest of this week. I'm expecting stuff maybe next week, just because I probably have a bit of a slower start heading into this season. Just to not go, not jump to a 10 out of 10 like over the top sort of rating thing when they start filming. They want to just ease into it a bit and not stress themselves too much. So maybe towards the end of the week we might get something, but I'd expect next week to be the start of like stuff rolling out in regards to information, maybe even some set photos to talk about and all that. But that's a wait and find out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything we went over. What do you think of the new look Jonathan Kent? Do you think he fits the role? Do you think he fits better into the show? Let me know all your thoughts down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.